All right, so we are now going to do the second half of 19.2, finding the surface area of composite figures. So, if we have this rectangular prism and we are hollowing out a cylinder, so we're taking like a drill, we're drilling a hole in it or something, we're drilling all the way through, and we wanted to find the surface area, we want to think about, if I was to take this figure and submerge it in water, how much of the figure would get wet? So we have the entire side of the figure. That part would be submerged. So we'll say, no, surface area. That's the perimeter times the height. Then we've got the faces. So we've got this top and this bottom. However, we have holes that are missing out of them. So we're going to go ahead and say that it's the bases. So we'll still say that it's 2 of the bases, but we're going to take away both of these holes. So we need to take away pi r squared. So I guess and then we are going to add the lateral face of the cylinder here. So that's going to be the perimeter times the height, but the perimeter is going to be the circumference, so 2 pi r times the height, which is 20. So I probably should have wrote down what this is. This is the lateral faces, the top and bottom, the holes, and this is the inside sides. So we have the perimeter of the entire figure, which is 2 and then 24 plus 16. So 24 plus 16. That accounts for 24 here and 16 here, accounts for both of those. Plus the area of the top and the bottom, that's going to be 2 times 24 times 16. Then we are going to subtract our circle. Actually, we're going to subtract 2 circles, aren't we? So minus 2 pi, our radius is 4 squared. And then we're going to add the sides. So 2 pi r, which is 4, and then we're going to multiply it by the height, which is 20. Now let's see how much of this we could do without a calculator. We've got 24 plus 16 is 40. 40 times 2 is 80. Nope. 24 times 2 times 16. No thanks. We've got 24 times 2 times 16. 768. 16 times 2 is 32 pi, plus 8 times 20 is 160 pi. All right, let's just go ahead and put that whole thing into our calculator. We have 80 plus 768, that's a 9, minus 32 pi, plus 160 pi. And we'll get a total surface area of 1250.1 feet squared. All right, and that's what we should do approximately through each of these. No, we need to... Looking back at this, I seem to have made a mistake. So what we're going to do here is I forgot to put the height. So let's go ahead and change this to be the perimeter. This is the perimeter. The height is 20. So we're going to take 80 and multiply it by 20, which makes 1600. right? 1660, 1600. That's a total of 40. 80 times 20. Yeah. So that's going to change our answer quite a bit. Let's try that. How about 2,770.1? Nice. Okay, so let's do the same thing for this problem. Let's write down all of the pieces. This time, instead of us hollowing out a cylinder, they're putting a cylinder on top. Now, I like to try and think of this as a whole, like piecing the parts together instead of trying to figure out what each of the parts are. So if I think about this entire rectangle, the surface is showing, except for this part is being covered up. But they're putting this part right here. So we're taking this part that's covered up and then we're showing it right here. So really all we're doing is we're just going to find the surface area of the rectangular prism, and then we're just going to add the lateral face of the cylinder. So I'll write that. The surface area of the prism, of the rectangular prism, plus the lateral parts of the cylinder. All right, and the surface area of the rectangular prism is going to be the perimeter times the height, plus 2 of the bases. And then we're going to add on the lateral parts of the cylinder, which is just the perimeter times the circumference, or the circumference times the height. So 2 pi r times our height. The perimeter of our figure is 2 times 9 plus 4. The height is 5. 2 of the bases is 2 times 9 times 4. And then the radius is 2, and the height is 3. So 9 plus 4 is 13, times 10 is 130. 8 times 9 is 72. And 4 times 3 is 12. We'll go ahead and add those together and see what we get. Pi 239.7 centimeters squared. All right, now that I've done 2 examples, why don't you go ahead and try both of these, pause the video, and then I will see you in a bit. Okay, so here are the answers to save some time. For our first one, I said it would be the perimeter times the height plus the top and the bottom. Since we have a rectangular prism on top of a rectangular prism, we're just going to do the entire rectangular prism. This part is being covered up, but it's being shown here. So then we're just going to do the lateral face of the rectangular prism on top. So just like the one with the cylinder problem, it's just be the perimeter times the height plus the top and the bottom plus the perimeter and the height of the top face there. The surface area of a cylinder with a cylinder hollowed out is going to be the big cylinder, so the entire big cylinder surface area, minus the small cylinder, because we are going to be taking out, or the top and the bottom, we're hollowing those out, but then we're going to add the lateral faces. That's why we're adding this part here. All right, and then that will be it for today. So your assignment is just going to be 7 through 10. And I will see you later on today.